So let's start first with the basic Elliott wave theory. So I have prepared some uh, notes here for the basic of Elliott wave theory. Okay, so let's start with the two types of waves in Elliott wave theory. There are two types of waves in Elliott wave theory. One is called motive waves. The other one is the corrective waves. Motive waves, these are the waves or the trend of the trend of the waves, while the corrective waves, these are the counter trend waves. So motive waves is the trend, corrective waves are the counter wave trends. So these two types of waves, the motive waves and corrective waves, are also subdivided into different types. But let's focus on the basic first. And these motive waves, by the way, are usually plotted or labeled as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. While for the corrective waves, we use letters uh, in labeling the structure. Usually it is labeled as ABC or an ABCDE, or it can be WXY. For the advanced, you can also use WXYC. But for now, let's just focus on the basic, which is motive waves are um, um, the trend waves that are usually that is labeled as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers, while corrective waves are labeled as letters, usually ABC, ABCDE, or WXY, or using letters for the corrective waves. Now, for the motive waves, here's the illustration of a motive wave: 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. While for the corrective waves, these are the basic types of correction. It can be a zigzag, it can be a triangle, or it can be a double tree. Now, I'd like to focus on the difference between a zigzag and a double tree. Now, for those who are not aware, the zigzag and double tree looks the same. However, when it comes to their internal waves or the subwaves or the waves that composes this zigzag and the double tree, the internal waves are different. For zigzag, usually it is for zigzag, the internal waves is composed of 5 waves for wave A, 5 waves for wave A, 3 waves for wave B, and then we have 5 waves for wave C. So this is the example. This is an example of a zigzag correction. Now, what's the difference between a zigzag and a double tree? The difference between the two is the internal waves. Here, just like what I have said, zigzag can be labeled as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. However, for double tree, from the word itself, double tree, it means the internal waves are composed of 3 waves. So for the W, it is composed of 3 internal waves labeled as ABC. For the X, transition wave X is ABC again, or 3 waves, and then another 3 waves down for the y. So if ever you are having difficulty in identifying whether the correction is a zigzag or a double tree, all you have to do is check the internal waves. If the first downtrend is 5 waves, there's a big possibility that the correction type is zigzag. If the first downtrend is just composed of 3 waves A, B, C, then there's a big possibility that the correction is called double tree, and it is usually labeled as W, X, Y. So to sum up, for the motive waves, it is labeled as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The internal waves can be 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, or it can also be labeled as 3, 3, 3, 3. Later, I'll focus on this in this motive wave later, because I'll focus on that for the current count of gold and BTC. But for now, for the zigzag, the pattern, the counting structure will be 535. For the triangle, it's 3333. That means the internal waves of wave A here must be composed of 3. Wave B is 3. B to C is 3. C to D is 3. D to E is also 3. And usually when it comes to the trend line resistance and the trend line support, for the trend line resistance, we connect the wave B to D. And then for the trend line support, we connect the A to C and extend it to until the area of the wave. So the breakout will happen only if it breaks the line BD or the line AC. And then for the double tree, the counting structure will be 333. Now let's focus on the motive waves 53535 or the 3333. Now there are two types of motive wave. One is called an impulse motive wave, and the other one is the diagonal motive wave. Now I'd like you to, perhaps I would like to ask the audience, what, by simply looking at the two illustrations of the motive wave, the impulse motive wave and the diagonal motive wave, what can you observe by simply looking at the two types of motive wave here? Let's check the chat. Okay, according to Kingsman, wave 4 goes beyond the territory of wave 1 on the second. That's a diagonal. According to Wilver, on diagonal waves, wave 4 overlaps wave 1. On impulse waves, wave 4 doesn't overlap wave 1. Okay, very good. That's correct. So, in other words, the difference between an impulse or a diagonal wave is simple. For the impulse wave, when wave 4 retraces, the retracement must not go beyond the territory of wave 1. So in this case, this is the territory of the peak of wave 1. So for it to be considered impulse, then therefore, the wave 4 should not go beyond the territory of wave 1. However, if the motive wave is a diagonal, this is the only exemption wherein wave 4 can go beyond the territory of wave 1. So it is impulse if the wave 4 respected the wave 1 territory, while it is a diagonal if the wave 4 overlaps the territory of wave 1. So with this in mind, let us now proceed to the cardinal rules of Elliott wave theory. So there are three cardinal rules of Elliott wave theory. Number one is wave 3 can never be the shortest impulse wave. Rule number 2, wave 2 can never go beyond the start of wave 1. While rule number 3, wave 4 can never cross in the same price as wave 1 in an impulse. Let me just highlight this, impulse motive wave. So these are the three cardinal rules of the Elliott wave theory. So if you know these three cardinal rules, you will be guided in terms of wave counting and wave measurement. Now, let me give let me elaborate what do we mean by wave 3 can never be the shortest impulse wave. Regardless whether it is an impulse or diagonal, the wave 3 should not be should not be the shortest. So what do we mean by that? Let's focus on the impulse wave here. When you say wave 3 cannot be the shortest, all you have to do, if you want to check your wave counts, all you have to do is check the length of each wave, the wave 1, and compare it to the length of the wave 3. So all you have to do is use the price range here. So use the price range and then measure the origin of your wave 1 to its peak, the origin of your wave 3 to its peak, and then compare. So in this case, if we will try to look at this carefully, wave 1 is around 1.46%, while wave 3 is 2.24%, and wave 5 is 1.92%. So therefore, if we will go back to the three cardinal rules of Elliott wave theory, this will satisfy all these rules, wherein wave 3 can never be the shortest impulse wave, wave 2 can never go beyond that start of wave 1. So in other words, if this is your wave 1, then your wave 2 should not go beyond the territory of, if this is your wave 1, if this is your wave 1, then therefore your wave 2 should not go beyond the territory of wave, or the origin of wave 1. Or else, that will violate one of the cardinal rules of Elliott wave theory. So that's the second rule. The third rule, wave 4 can never cross in the same price area as wave 1 in an impulse motive wave. In other words, wave 4 cannot go beyond or cannot overlap the territory of wave 1. So with that in mind, this particular illustration satisfies the three cardinal rules of Elliott wave theory. Wave 3 is not the shortest among these waves 1, 3, and 5. Wave 2 did not go beyond the origin of the wave 1, and wave 4 did not overlap the territory of wave 1. So for it to be considered an impulse wave, it must satisfy the three cardinal rules of Elliott wave theory. Now, what is the reason why I am reviewing this particular session? Because BTC and gold are if you're not so careful in terms of checking the rules of Elliott wave theory, your counting may be affected with if one of the three cardinal rules are violated. Now, going back to the diagonal, by the way, diagonal can be counted as 53535 or 3333. When we say 53535, meaning 5 waves up, 3 waves down, 5 waves up, 3 waves down, 5 waves up. Or it can also be labeled as 33333. But the diagonal can only happen on the higher degree wave 1 or higher degree wave 5. But the diagonal can never happen, should never happen in the wave 3 of an impulse wave. So I repeat, diagonal can only happen as in the first wave or the fifth wave. If diagonal happens in the first wave, we call it as leading diagonal. From the word itself, wave 1 is the leading wave, therefore leading diagonal. If the diagonal happens in the internal waves of the fifth wave, we call it as the ending diagonal. So the diagonal can only happen at the start of the impulse wave or at the end of the impulse wave, but never in the wave 3 of the impulse wave. The wave 3 should always be an impulse wave, meaning the wave 4 should not go beyond the territory of wave 1. Now, with this in mind, we will now proceed to the actual wave counts of gold. Allow me to share some previous analysis. Now, if ever you are interested with the previous analysis I've made in my podcast hosting, all you have to do is search for Jack of All Waves. You can see there the playlist of all my podcasts here in Blue Guardian. And then sometimes I do live. So if you want to see some live analysis, you can also check my live. Just one day ago, I did stream live for the Bitcoin. So if you want to check that, you can check that as well. Now, going back here, let's continue with the counts of gold. So here is the current structure of the gold. It is a higher degree WXY. If you can still remember, a WXY or an ABC and a WXY correction are the difference between these two is the internal wave counts. Going back, if we say zigzag, the internal waves is 535, while for the double 3 or the WXY, it's 333 counting. So going back here, the first wave is composed of 5 waves, but this particular 5 waves here is considered as a diagonal. Diagonal 333 counts. You can check the YouTube video about this one. It was explained there in detail. And then the intervening wave, which is the wave B here, is a triangle. And then the wave W is composed of 5 internal waves as well. Now for the X here, or the intervening wave of the higher degree, it's an ABC. So 3 waves up, and then from there, it continued to go down. Now, probably you will see a lot of analysis or Elliott wave analysis wherein most of them counted this as wave 1, 2, 3, wave 1, and then this is the nested wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. In this case, the reason why I reviewed the rules or the cardinal rules of Elliott wave theory is for you to realize that those counting must be considered. They must consider recounting. Why? They have violated the rules of the cardinal rules of Elliott wave theory. Now, by the way, this is my analysis. the WXY correction or the double T correction, I'm expecting a wave 1, wave 2 retracement here, and then it will continue to go up. Let's see what happened after this. I projected that it will create a correction since the first wave is 5 waves. Initially, since the first downtrend is 5 waves, so my first initial correction, type of correction will be zigzag. Now, going back here, since this is first wave, the first downtrend is 5 waves, so I am considering a zigzag. Now, let's see what happened after. So, it created 3 waves up, and then I projected that it will create 5 waves down. Let's see what will happen after that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, this should be the 3 and should be the 5 in this particular case. But originally, I have a shallow wave 3 here, and then 4, and then 5. But upon looking at the internal waves, I reconsidered, okay, there's a possibility that the wave 3 is extended. So this is the extension scenario. Now, going back to what I have said a while ago, the cardinal rules of Elliott wave theory. According to rule number 1, wave 3 can never be the shortest impulse. Now, if we will try to look at this particular counting, this scenario, if you will count this as wave 1, wave 3, and the encircled wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will be the internal waves of your Roman numeral number 3, and then you're expecting a fourth wave bounce, at least 3 waves, and then going down, you have to consider and go back to the basic rule or cardinal rule of Elliott wave theory. And what is that? Wave 3 can never be the shortest wave, impulse wave. Try to look at the accurate lengths of the following waves. Encircled wave 1 is 4.11%. Encircled wave 3 is 4.18%. And wave 4 is negative. Sorry. Let's use the pips. For wave 1, it's 140 pips. 140.411 pips. And then for wave 3, it's 140.095 pips, which is shorter than the wave 1. And then the encircled wave 5 is 145 pips, which is the longest among the impulse wave 1, 3, and 5. So in this case, if we will try to base it on the pips, it's clear that the wave 3 is the shortest among these waves 1, 3, and 5. Therefore, this counting should not be considered. So what will be the most logical Elliott wave correction next to this? That will be a double 3. In other words, I label the first wave down as A, B, and then the 5 internal waves of wave C, and then label it as W, and then an intervening wave X, and then continue with the A, B, and C. So with this, the structure is more clear compared to the first type of counting. So if you will be technical about it, then this counting should not be considered. And this is the next logical Elliott wave correction that you should consider in terms of the Elliott wave counting. So what is expected from here? Just like what I have forecasted, it will create a wave 1 here or wave 2, and then it will continue to go up at least 5 waves, and then up after 5 waves. That's the time that we can confirm whether it will create an impulse or a corrective wave. When I say impulse or a corrective wave, I am referring to the current counts. The current counts is, this one is clear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves. That's the first wave that I have mentioned up here. It's the first wave. And then we have a correction, which is a zigzag composed of 5 waves down, 3 waves up, 5 waves down. That's why it's a zigzag. And then after that, I counted this as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Actually, I reconsidered counting this as encircled wave 3, encircled wave 4, and encircled wave 5. I'll show it later in the current current chart. Then after that, here's the update of this count. From this, when the market opened last Monday, it created a new week opening gap, or in ICT they call it as the NWOG or the NWOG, or the new week opening gap. So once there is a gap, most of the time those gaps will be filled before continuing the trend or reversing the trend. So in this case, I labeled this as my possible POI for the continuation or the reversal of the trend. Now, after that, we saw that the gold created a new high today. So I considered counting it as wave 1, 2, and this one, the impulse wave with the new week opening gap, will be considered as the wave 3, and then 4, 5, and then after this is what happened. I considered that there will be a correction after completing the internal waves of the third wave here, and usually the retracement area for wave 4, the parenthesis wave 4 here, is around 0.236 or 23.6% or 38.2% up to 0.5%, or any price above the territory of wave 1. Just like what I have said, in an impulse motive wave, wave 4 should not go beyond the territory of wave 1. So that's why I call this as bullish first line of defense. Basically, this is the invalidation of the impulse wave, while the wave 2 will be the invalidation of a diagonal wave. So the ideal bounce or retracement levels for wave 4 are 0.236 to 0.382. But just like what I've said, it can go as low as or close to the territory of wave 1, but not overlap the territory of wave 1. What happened after this? We know that the price created a new high after retracing to the 0.236 level. And let us now go to the present data. Just like what I've mentioned, the price retraced around 23.6% of the wave 2 to 3. So just in case you are curious, how do we measure the wave 4? To measure the wave 4, you have to use the fib breadth, measuring the start of the wave 3 to the peak of the wave 3. From there, the ideal retracement levels for wave 4, encircled wave, or rather the parenthesis wave 4 here, will be the 236 to 382. Now, after that, we saw from the 236, it created 5 waves up. So this means that I need to update my count and label this as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. What do that means? This means that the parenthesis counts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 has officially ended or terminated. When it is terminated, it is expected after the 5 waves, internal waves of this parenthesis wave 5, we expect a correction. And just like what I have shared a while ago, discussed a while ago, there are different corrections that you may consider. It can be a zigzag, a double tree, or labeled as WXY, or a triangle. By the way, I forgot to mention that wave 4 can only happen, or sorry, the triangle can only happen in a wave 4 counting. So, since the next count now will be from encircled wave 2 to encircled wave 4, so there are 3 possible corrections here. It can be zigzag, it can be triangle, or it can be a double tree. So, but of course, all you have to do is check the acceptable retracement level for this. And what will be the acceptable retracement level for this? That would be from the beginning of the wave 2, this one, the beginning of the wave 2 to the peak of, or sorry, to the start of wave 3, in Elliott wave theory, make sure to use the magnet because we are particular, especially to the start and the end of the wave. And then you have to connect it to the recent time. So the acceptable level for encircled wave 4 will be these 3 levels, the 236, the 382, and the 0.5. However, if we will consider this as wave 3 or impulse wave, then therefore the new bullish last line, our first line of defense, will be the price of encircled wave 1. So what do that means? That means that you're going to adjust your levels for the wave 4, encircled wave 4. And the bullish last line of defense now will be the price of wave 2. Remember that we are still in the early stage of the possible reversal. Therefore, we are considering whether this could be an impulse wave or a motive wave. Impulse wave if the price will bounce above the encircled wave 1 territory. But we will consider a diagonal once it touches or overlaps the territory of the encircled wave 4. Encircled wave 1, I mean. So we are still way above the possible retracement level of the wave 4. Now, Sir Jack, what will happen if the price will create a new high here? Then therefore, there's a possibility of extension because the quote-unquote shallowest retracement for wave 4 should be that 0.236. Anything above that can be considered as an extension. And the possible extension here, one of the reasons of the possible extension is that there's no market structure shift at the territory of the wave 4. So once it breaks this, the price of the parenthesis wave 4 here, there will be a structure break. Then the possibility of touching the 0.236 to 382 will be high likely. But as of now, if this price is respected, as let's label this as bullish scalp last line of defense, then this will be your SL for an extension scenario. And that extension scenario will be discussed we'll probably discuss in our next podcast, not now because I have explained already the basic ones. So what we're expecting is the continuation of the wave 4 here. As of now, what I can see, what the market is giving us is an ABC here, A, B, C. So just like in the discussion before I proceed to the real chart, what is the possible correction type here if the first downtrend is 3 waves? Let's check if you were listening to the podcast today. So it's a WXY. That's correct, Kingsman. So if you want to put a trail stop, correct, that's the question of the, let me answer the question of icing. If ever, Sir Jack, if ever I caught the wave 2 here, and I'd like to hold this because my entry point is now very far from the current price, where will I put my trail stop? So if you want to maximize the possible 5 waves up, then your trail stop should be placed not exactly but a little below this encircled wave 4, or rather parenthesis wave 4. Why? Because that's the only that will be the confirmation of the correction going to the ideal levels of the encircled wave 4. So once this price gets broken, then consider finding an additional position if you want to catch the wave 4 retracement. But as of now, the internal waves are not yet completed. There are two levels of two defenses that must be broken for it to be considered a diagonal. First is confirmation of a retracement for wave 4, and then once this gets broken, there will be an MSS or a market structure shift, and then it will continue to go down. So since the first 3 waves is ABC here, then therefore the correction may be considered as a WXY or a double tree. So these first 3 waves will be labeled as W, an X, and then we have 3 waves down. Since the first 3 waves, the first downtrend is composed of 3 waves. So it's a little, the structure is a little clear for this particular movement. But if ever, just like what I've said, if there's no MSS or market structure shift or breaking this bullish last line of defense, this can be considered as an extension, meaning there will be 5 waves up. This will be considered as wave 2, 3, 4, and 5. That will be the scenario for the extension. But if ever this particular price will be broken, then we are expecting a WXY. So if you are a scalper or intraday, there are 2 possible setup. One, a sweep of the bullish last line of defense, and the other one is above the bullish last line of defense to continue the internal waves of the encircled wave 5. Okay? So that's the situation now for the gold. So we are on a retracement, and that retracement is just the wave 4. As you can see here, I am also considering instead of what do you call this, an impulse wave, I am also considering just an ABC. Basically, before 5 waves, there should be 3 waves. So once the 3 waves are completed, that's the only time that I will consider adding 2 more waves for the possible 5 wave uptrend. But as of now, we are just completing the internal waves of the A, B, and the C. So this can be labeled as 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 here for the waves. Okay? So with this particular counting, the important levels that you need to consider are the following. This one, the bullish scalp plus line of defense. This is just for scalp purposes. Once this is broken, expect that it will continue to go down and will challenge the higher time frame or the higher degree bullish first line of defense. Once this gets broken, or once this is broken, then the last line of defense bullish scenario will be the price of encircled wave 2 at 3,153. But in this particular price action, with the current price action, high likely that it will bounce within this 0.236 to 0.382 area. Okay? So that will be all for the gold. We will now proceed with the Bitcoin. Nox is asking a question. Is this only applicable in the LTFs? I've mostly seen the 5 minutes so far. Elliott wave can be used in any time frame. Because the Ralph Nelson Elliott believes that market is a fractal, meaning what happens in the higher time frame will also happen in the lower time frame. So that means even if you apply the rules of wave counting and the rules of measurements in waves in Elliott wave theory, it can be applied in any time frame. If you are in my Discord community, I have shown them how to count the waves in the seconds time frame. If I'm really in the mood to do a scalping using Elliott wave theory. Okay? Now let's proceed with the Bitcoin. So let me start with my original analysis of Bitcoin. I consider this as leading diagonal. By the way, a leading diagonal or a diagonal can, or a 333, the structure is 333, leading diagonal. There are cases that the wave 4 will not retrace beyond the territory of the wave 1. And that can only happen in a 3-3-3-3 pattern, not in a 5-3-5-3-5 structure. So I'll consider this as leading diagonal encircled wave 1, wave 2. Upon checking the internal waves, this is the 5th wave of the encircled wave 3. And looking at the internal waves, this looks like a 5 waves. So initially, just like what I have said, if the first downtrend is composed of 5 internal waves, then consider a zigzag. And that's what I did. But that's not what the market gave us. After this, I projected, just like what I have projected. Simply look at this one. I projected that the price will go up to wave B and then it will continue to go down. It did go up and then tried to go down. However, there should be an impulsive movement here. But that's not what the market gave us. I originally projected it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the internal waves of the wave 3 here. red wave 3 here, and then it will continue to go up at least 3 waves, then 5 waves down. But after doing this, I actually even projected the time window for this impulsive wave 3 to happen. It did go down to the area of wave 3, but not exactly 101,396, or a little above this one. And then it breaks the territory of the wave 2. And that's what happened here. Originally, I counted this as wave 1, 2. After breaking the price of my original wave 2 here, that's the time that I changed my bias from an ABC correction or a zigzag correction. I changed it into a triangle and labeled my bullish and bearish last line of defense. So if this is a triangle, then therefore the triangle must be completed within this bearish and bullish defenses. So instead of counting this originally as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I changed it into WXY. And then this is a clear ABC. And then a WXY again. And then I'm expecting 3 waves up going to wave D. And these are the different Elliott wave triangles. For the bullish market, bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish. So there are 2 possible types of correction here. From this original analysis, there are 2 types of possible triangle. It's either a contracting triangle or a barrier triangle. What's the difference between a contracting triangle and a barrier triangle? In the contracting triangle, the line BD is declining. And for the barrier, the line BD is horizontal. So from this, my wave D depends on the internal waves of wave C to D. If the price is within the territory of wave B, I will consider it as barrier. But if the price is below the territory of the wave B, then I'll consider it as a contracting triangle. Let's see what happened after. So what the market gave us is a contracting triangle. So from here, it went down, or it created a declining line BD, the encircled BD here, and then we continued the internal waves ABC. From here, just like what I have posted or shared in my community, the best timing to trade a triangle is the wave E. So for those who are not even Elliottians, if you see a triangle, count the waves, just zoom it in the higher time frame, zoom it or zoom out or zoom in, just to see the clear view of the triangle. It must be composed of 3 waves each, ABC, 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 5 sets of ABC. And if you see the trend line support and the trend line resistance is squeezing, make sure to count as at least 3 waves before trading it. For breakout traders, usually they will wait for it to break the trend line resistance and then find a retracement around here. But for Elliott wave traders or analysts, we catch the wave E. And we consider C as our SL, but wave E can trust the territory of the wave C here. So the initial SL should be at the price of wave A. That's the initial. Because there's a possibility that the wave E here will trust the territory of the wave C. So, and then after that, once the price break you have confirmed the breakout already, you may adjust your SL at the price of the waves here. But if the price action becomes an impulsive one, then you may do a trail stop or put your stop loss with a gain. So that's the best way to trade a triangle in Elliott wave theory. Now going back here, after the confirmation of the breakout here, this is what I have said a while ago. For breakout traders, they will wait for it to break, to do a breakout. Once there's a breakout, they will try to catch it after the retracement. And that's what happened here. After the breakout here, they will catch a possible retracement here. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it needs to be completed. We have here, after the breakout, there's a retest, and then it continued to go up. So from parenthesis wave 4, it went up to the parenthesis wave 5, and to the encircled wave 5. And then after this, I realized that the bullish last line of defense will be this particular price, 102,686.90. But I, as an analyst or a trader using Elliott wave theory, I'm very particular with the rules of Elliott wave, specifically the 3 cardinal rules of Elliott wave theory. So I've decided to do a live and measure it, or do a live charting on my YouTube channel, and counted the waves carefully. I have here the first 5 waves, the second set of 5 waves, and the third set of 5 waves. Because just like in my counting here, I am certain that the internal waves of the 5th encircled wave 5 is completed. So therefore, after completing it, I decided to check, because originally my last line of defense will be this price, but it was broken. When it was broken, I was expecting it to create 5, or rather a WXY or an AB correction. But upon checking the length, if we will try to go back to the very beginning of our discussion, what is the very first cardinal rule of Elliott wave theory? Can anyone state the first cardinal rule of Elliott wave theory? The first rule, or the first cardinal rule of Elliott wave theory, is wave 3 should not be the shortest. As you can see here, wave 3, the possible wave 3 is 15.35%. The possible, the wave 1 is 16.01%, and the wave 5 is 15.27%. Therefore, if I will count this as waves 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, this will violate the very first cardinal rule of Elliott wave theory. And that's the time that I have decided to do a live, and then to explain why my bias will change from a correction after the 5 waves into continuation of the uptrend. Simply because of the rule, the cardinal rule number 1, which is wave 3 should not be the shortest. And from here, I projected that it will create a wave 2, and it will continue to go up. As you can see, the price, in the recent chart, the price went to this wave 2 area, the golden zone area. 0.5 is 0 to 0.618, but the wave 2 can go as low as 99.9% retracement, as long as it will not break the origin of your possible wave 1. So from here, I projected that it will go down to wave 2 and then will continue to go up. And just imagine, I am forecasting the market. Most of the traders will tell you na do not forecast, do not predict the market, but do not predict the market. Just trade whatever is given to you. That is actually correct. But remember that those people who are telling you that are price action traders. They are price action traders, or simply they base their trades on the current price action. But Elliott wave theory is a forecasting. Actually, it's a 3-in-1 or any type of trades that you want. Elliott wave theory can can also be used for price action, but not only price action but also for forecasting purposes. And that's what I have been doing for the entire past year, from 2,300 price up to the current price right now of gold. And from BTC, if you can still remember, the price back then was around 70 or 40 when I first when I first hosted a live market analysis here. So from here, let's see what happened after. I projected that it will create 5 internal waves. Remember that this is 3 minutes time frame. So the noise is quite the wave counts will be quite volatile. So there's a possibility that the price action may happen right away. So this is my most recent forecast, and let's see what happened to the actual price of gold right now. Not really gold, but BTC. As you can see, it's like I have drawn the market, then the market followed me. Not because I'm a magician, not because I'm a fortune teller, but simply because I am an objective Elliottician. I follow the rules of Elliott wave theory strictly, religiously, and by following the rules of Elliott wave theory strictly and religiously, the probability of your analysis uh, will become highly probable if you follow the rules of Elliott wave theory strictly and religiously. And if you will try to check my YouTube account, I've mentioned there that the encircled wave 3 will challenge the all-time high price last last January, and that's what happened here. The all-time high price was already broken. What do that means? Expect, as you can see, the price will continue to go up. What we are experiencing right now is just the internal waves of the encircled wave 3, and it will do a retracement after. This is a projection for the encircled wave 3 for the completion, around 110,000 to 111. This can be refined depending on the internal wave counts here. However, as of before the price action happened here, this was my original wave 3 price levels. After the wave 4, for those who are breakout traders, there will be a breakout, meaning the previous all-time high price will be broken. Once it's broken, there will be a retracement or a retest. Once a successful retest happen, then it will create another all-time high, and that will be the encircled fifth of Roman numeral number 5 to the parenthesis Roman numeral number 3. So what do that means? we will see more all-time highs from here. And as you can, if you're aware with the news, there are a lot of positive news in terms of the crypto, specifically Bitcoin. So that ends my session for today. I hope this session will help you realize that there there's a strategy that exists that can be used to any type of trade. Scalping, intraday, swing, or positional trades. Elliott wave theory, when you follow the rules of wave counting and measurement, you will have an objective approach of the market. So that ends my session. So if there are questions that were not answered in this particular session, my apologies. You are all welcome. Let me just check. Okay, so I have the permission to announce something about myself. Mhm. Perhaps my followers from my social media account and my community are waiting for this announcement. I'd like to announce that in the coming days, I have accepted a partnership from a forex broker, and the forex broker is Vantage Markets. So I will be a partner of the Vantage Markets. That means expect future webinars that I'll be doing and will be sponsored by my new partner, Vantage Markets. And not only that, in the next days or weeks, I'll be confirming or I'll be announcing as well a lot of crypto exchange or exchanges that have been um, chatting me for the past 3 months, I think, because they would like to have a partnership deal with myself and my community. And then not only that, I'd like to announce as well that in the incoming days, you will not only see me doing podcast or live market analysis during in a bi-weekly manner in Blue Guardian, but I will also be doing live market analysis in my Facebook page. And in that Facebook page, the Blue Guardian, with the help of Eric, I'd like to acknowledge the help of Eric to that aside from my BG podcast here in a bi-weekly period, I will be doing live market analysis as well in my social media accounts. And there will be giveaways as well, sponsored by our family, Blue Guardian, and the giveaway accounts will be 25K 3-step Guardian account, and the outside live market analysis will be a bi-weekly manner as well. So in other words, you will see me at least 4 times a month doing live analysis. Not only 4 times a month, since I accepted the partnership with the Vantage Markets, uh, then I will also be doing some extra sessions that is more on educational to help traders uh, to prepare traders technically using Elliott wave theory and the other strategies that I know, tested through years of back testing and forward testing. So make sure to follow my socials, check my Discord community because the announcement will be posted there. So that ends my announcement, and let us now proceed with the giveaway sponsored by our Blue Guardian family. May I ask the support, who's the support right now? Genesis. Genesis, can we do random only? Uh, I I think the session for today were all discussed already before, and I'd like to do it as random as possible instead of doing question and answer. Okay. What's the numbers that I will choose from? Please do not forget to thank our Blue Guardian family of the extra live sessions that I will be doing because those live sessions will be sponsored by them. Without them, there will be no extra live sessions. So make sure to support us of course, by inviting more traders to be with us, purchase an account with us, and then trade with us and learn with us. Please do not spam the chat with the numbers because the numbers are already the your positions right now on the screen were screenshot by Genesis already. I don't have his copy of this screenshot, so I'll be selecting 5 numbers from 1 to 106. So good luck to whoever will win the said 5 numbers or 5 accounts. I'll choose 36, 41, 78, 14, and 83. Okay, it's up to the support Genesis to be specific to confirm these winners. I don't have his copy of the screenshot, so it's up to him to to post the winners. Again, if you want us to continue doing this live market analysis, educational live market analysis, please do not forget to help us in inviting more traders to come to our Discord server and let them observe first. And then once they are convinced, ask them to purchase an account in with us, Blue Guardian. We're just waiting for the names to be posted by Genesis. I'm sorry if there are many questions that I was not able to answer. I was too focused on the explanation of today's session. It's like a crash course in Elliott wave theory, explained in just 1 hour. Of course, don't forget to join my Discord server. I'll post the link. if you want to see more educational contents or materials. Okay, here are the winners. It's already posted by Genesis. Hail Lag, I don't know how to pronounce that. First is Heilagr. Next is Morax, followed by Zeus, followed by Keo, and then Jen. So congratulations to the winners. Do not forget to open a support ticket to claim your prize. Again, thank you, Blue Guardian family. Thank you, Genesis, for assisting me. Thank you, Eric. And may the waves be with you all always. Thank you and have a great day.